Greetings, all you Funnel Fixer Upper members. I want to thank you again for taking an investment into you and to trusting me that I know what I'm talking about and I'm ready to see you succeed. So here's something I wanted to show you. Every now and then I will give a behind the scenes video. I'll throw this kind of stuff up so you get to see what's happening in the background and maybe get you some ideas of how some of the things are that you can do with some of the software that we use. So the video I'm preparing for you right now is simply based on using Clickfunnels as a membership site. Some people will argue with you and say Clickfunnels should just stay as a funnel site. And typically what this means is that if you see articles like that or videos like that, they'll write articles and promote videos and blogs all about this simply because they want to pitch what they're selling. So one of the things that I got interested in as I'm preparing all of this for you right now, I'm finishing up a few more details. So you're really seeing like true behind the scenes before we actually get into the final mix of it. But I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to walk through a few things I'm working on. So whenever we're in the back office of Clickfunnels, and I will teach you how to use Clickfunnels for all of your funnel setups and anything like that. If there's something I don't know, we'll bring in a colleague of mine who is phenomenal with this specific software and see if we can bring him in and discuss a few of the things that maybe I don't know. He's got really good connections with Russell Brunson. So if we can get him on the schedule, we'll bring him in and see what he can show us. But what I wanted to show you here is this is one of the layouts I was playing around with to keep the theme moving and all that. Very basic, very specific, only because I don't want, well, not basic and specific. That doesn't make sense. Let me try that again. It's simple enough because I want you to stay focused on the content. I'll get rid of a lot of the extra white space. I'll add a few more things in here so it's a little bit more friendly, a little bit more personable. You know, you get the idea. But what was bothering me is in this current iteration of this entire setup, I added, hold on, the reveal is there. I added a gargantuan amount of lesson sections is what these are called. These that are going to pop up over here are called lesson sections. And each one of these will contain a list of videos, of book downloads, all that, which I will walk through later. But I wanted you to see that out of all of these that are available to you, if I were to click one, you'd have to scroll all the way down. And if you found the one you were looking for going, expected results, you click on it, you have to scroll all the way back up. And I was asking myself, there's got to be a way that we can do this inside of Clickfunnels without having to purchase any other program yet. We will eventually transition things into a different site, different layout and all that. But right now, I wanted to make sure you got as much material as possible. So I went to Google searches and I realized I'm going to find exactly what I'm looking for. Now I just need to know how to phrase this. I have some background in web development and cascading style sheets and learning and figuring all this back when Netscape Navigator was the thing. If you know what I'm talking about, feel free to just kind of nod your head and go, wow, this guy's old, right? He's been doing this for a while. So I've been coding since those days. And I know that you can wrap all of these things. These are called elements, okay? All of these things, this little box here is an element. This video box here is an element. This text here is an element. All of these are things. And all that means is in the coding language, we can make it do pretty much whatever we want. So it got me bothered that there was no automatic setting in here that I'm going to make you guys scroll all the way down to find a video, and then you have to scroll all the way back up. Not a good user experience. Plus, I didn't want to split all these up and just have like 8,000 links up here not knowing what to do, which I'm going to promote this in here. There are 2 videos that will be available for how to use this entire back office, and then if you get stuck, what to do next, okay? But right now, I want to tell you how easy this is to set up and why the support with me is way much more valuable than what you just spent. I'm going to tell you. Because if you go searching right now, people will tell you, don't use Clickfunnels for a membership site. And it's because they're promoting other things. Do I think Clickfunnels is amazing for membership? I think it's good enough to be good enough. Clickfunnels was meant to make it easy for the non-designers, non-developers to use the internet, to use a web developing program. I mean, if you wanted to rebuild your site, it's super easy to do this. Super. And we can talk about how to do that. If that's something you're interested in, I will make a training on it and we'll go over it. And if I can get my buddies in here that are really good at it too, we'll get some other feedback so it's not just me. So I thought, how am I going to figure this out? So all of that to say, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how I did this so you know, one, how to do it yourself, and two, I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk. I still develop my own stuff. Even though I could hire that out, I still like to create my own things, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, so in order to do this, cascading style sheets, CSS, require different classes of elements. So you can call it by whatever these elements are named, you need to know what those are. And one of the ways to do it, let me move me out of the way here. Let's go to the other lower left. One of the ways to do that is to determine how would you want this to be done. Now, because I've done development of web pages for a long time, I know that I don't want to scroll this part right here because all that is an item list. So if I were to do that, it would make each one of these like scroll in this tiny little box, scroll in this tiny little section here. We don't want that. We want this whole thing scrollable so that when we click on this here, we don't have to scroll up and down to get to this part, right? So here's what we do. We're not worried about individual elements. We're worried about the container. This right here, this blue box that you're getting around, this is called a column. And inside of this is where all the elements go. Clickfunnels makes it easy. You just drag and drop. We're not going to do that this one. I'm just going to get right into it. So I wanted to know what this one was called. So really simply, I went up to columns and I highlighted until you see, like you can see it. My finger's like pointing right at it. So I'll point, see if you can see it. So you see right up there, there's a blue border that went around the logo, and then one that just went around where it's a dashboard logout, okay? Then one that right around first time logging in, search through course, okay? You see where it's highlighting lesson list, lesson video. This is the one we want. The one that just highlighted, it's just called left column under left sidebar row. You see it right here, section, left sidebar row, left column. I don't need to know this information. I need to know what the name of the code is behind it. This is what the web page is calling it. This is what Clickfunnels is calling this particular spot. And I get that right here with this pound sign. Click on Get CSS Info. This is the one I want, okay? This one is called, let me actually switch back over for a moment. I'm putting my Bob Rossing in here for a moment. So we want to capture this info. This is what we want, because when we tell it to do something specific, code language-wise, we're going to call it this ID. So we're going to copy this, we're going to close it. In the upper left-hand corner in settings, there's a section called Custom CSS. If you click it through this type of page, you'll notice there's already information. So you might go, Jared, why don't you just add to this? Well, I did a quick little search. This is not the same information I'm looking for. If you remember, this is the one that we captured. This is the only thing we want to affect. Okay? These are two different entities. That's like different names of the kids in your family. That's different names of the cats. If you have 13 cats, they're all different names, right? They're all categorized as cat, but they're all different names of cats, right? Does that make sense? Good old Java. All right. So then what I had to do is I had to search what information do I need to create a scroll bar. So all I did was I Googled CSS scroll bar. Really simple, okay? Now I'm not looking for custom. I don't need to know that. All I need to know is how do I build one? So I clicked on this one. I right-clicked and open link in new tab. I think that's the one I did. Tell you if it looks familiar. Yep. And all I needed to know, because I can read this, so I can help you with this. All I needed to know is this right here. That's it. Just one line. But if I were to use this one, it wouldn't know when to do the scroll bar. So it would still list everything. So we want to tell it what height it's going to stop at. Which one is it going to stop at so we know that when it hits this limit, that's when to add the scroll bar. So this is what I did. Copied somebody else's work. This is in the modern social media marketing lesson about repurposing other people's work that they curated. You're just curating and doing this. I didn't write this from scratch. I went and found somebody else's stuff. They're going to get credit because you see them on here. We drop a link in here at the video if you want to know more about CSS. We copy what they're doing. We go back to my page, right? I know that there's an open bracket, because again, if we needed to see that, we could see it right here. Again, that's the start of how this code works. You're like, Jared, I don't need to know how to code. You're right, but I'm telling you what will happen if you don't use Clickfunnels and you want to make little changes like this. You're going to hire somebody to do it. You're going to hire me to do it on top of our support, or you're going to use Clickfunnels. I use Clickfunnels. We're going to paste. That's it so far. We're going to close it with a right bracket. So this basically says when you find this part of the web page, make the height a specific amount of pixels. And when it gets to the part where it's going to overflow Y, remember we're on an X and Y axes, when it hits Y and it hits that max pixel count right here, create the scroll. Okay, so we're going to change this. If I did 100 pixels, I'll show you. Let's leave it. We're going to save it. Okay, this page is saving. It's going to tell me it appears at 217. I'm going to just refresh this page and watch what happens to the left-hand side here. Okay, so we added the scroll. Perfect. But now it's really small. So if you were to click and to go through and pick a video, you're naturally going to want to drag this. So we know 100 pixels is too small. So we go right back to our page. We go into settings, custom CSS. We change the height. I'm going to guess around 700. We close out of this and we save it. Again, all we're doing is just changing the max height. It says to wait. If I need to, I can launch in an incognito mode, private browsing, but we're going to refresh. And all I did was F5. You can also stop the page from still loading and then click the reload page here. So if we can get that, you can tell by the spinning up here. And look at this. You see the scroll bar and boom. So what does this mean for you now? Well, instead of having to scroll all the way to the bottom, like we were previously doing, let's pick, this one's got a lot of videos. Let's pick this one. And you'll see as we scroll down through, you don't have to scroll the entire page. If we were to pick one that we wanted to change, it just changes to the right, and here you are. And you change this information over here because they're going to be updated by the time you're seeing this live, like you're actually in the back office, all this will be different. But again, behind the scenes. So that's it. It's that simple. So somebody was trying to tell me that in order to do the function I wanted to do, I had to go pay more money. And they were doing that, and I'm going to show you real quick why. All right, let me go back over here. Let me see if I can get my the history or the past here. Right, no. Crustum, no. Kajabi, that's right. Here it was. It was a search for Clickfunnels member site. Why you shouldn't use it. Look at this, because again, they're promoting something. Okay, this is what they're talking about. And this is, again, why shouldn't you use it? Like, perfect. I mean, it's going to catch your attention. We could talk, man, there's so many things I can teach on this. But anyway, so it goes all the way through. Reasons not to use it. You don't track progress. You should know that I can track the videos that you're watching in the back office. And Clickfunnels also has a progress indicator to let me know if you watched it or not, or at least clicked on it to go forward, okay? So it's not super duper specific, but we're not testing here. We just want you to get the data, you get the training, so you can get to move on it and keep moving. The user experience is bad. Well, we've proven that that is not always the case. There are things in here he's going to drop and say, yeah, it can't do this, it can't do that, and I get it. But if you are familiar enough with the development side, you can change any of these experiences to match whatever it is you want. I'm sure that Clickfunnels is not meant for just a membership, but the idea is to make it as simple as possible for any user to come in here and make a web page and make whatever they would like to make, okay? Manage your subscription as well as change your payment details. Sure. All this to say, you can read this one at your own time. I'll drop a link so you can see it. The point that I'm getting at too is this. He's saying that you can't use Clickfunnels, which, you know, I just proved to you that we can still do the scroll. He says Kajabi. All right, that's cool. Plan is here, so it's not the cheapest online, but it's out there. Do you know why that is? Because when you click this, all right, ready? Do you see in the lower left-hand corner, you may not be able to see it here, but it says sellcoursesonline.com/go/Kajabi. If I click this, watch the top part here change, and you're going to see this creator's name, okay? Let's see, it's Badhuria. I think that's how you, excuse me, pronounce it. I'm sorry if I screwed that up. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to click on Kajabi, his link, okay? Watch what happens. Okay, UTM campaign. What this means, Kajabi homepage. That's fine. He doesn't control that. The content. This is the content that loads. Medium is affiliate. See that? And the source is Badhuria, Manny. So this is what happens. Now that I'm clicked through here, if I were to purchase Kajabi right now to switch everything over, I would be paying for my Clickfunnels and he would get a cut of this. There's nothing wrong with what he did. But if we can look at saving our money for using it where we need to use it, not where we want to, that's where we get to see the biggest impact that occurs. I didn't mean to teach on this right now. I saw it. I'm like, let's talk about it. The BA, the business analyst side of me is like, hold on a second. Just because you want it doesn't mean you need it. Okay? If you want to do something similar to a membership site that you're seeing in the back office, and you like a basic, simple flow, which I'm not sure I'm digging the background the way it is. I might just change it to a color. Excuse me. But if you like the way that this looks, I can help you build this. It comes part of the package that you purchased. It's part of your support. It's part of, you want to get something done, let's just build it. It's part of your vision that you shared or are ready or going to share if you haven't had the call with me yet. So all that to say, I did this for you. I wanted to figure out how to do this for you because I want you to have the best experience. I personally don't care if I have to scroll all the way down, but you came here to watch the next video and move and move and move. You came in here to download the audiobook because you're going traveling or you're heading to the gym or you just want to listen to something on the way home from the office. You just want to keep moving. And my job is to help you move faster. And that's what all this is about. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you don't mind, I'm going to finish getting us all done so you have it as soon as possible. And then you're seeing the final effects by the time you watch this. But I want you to know these are the things that I'm doing for my own stuff. So I'll definitely do this for you so long as we get to that and you share your vision. You tell me what's going on. So if you have not done this yet, if you have not made a call with me yet, I believe I put it in here. I don't know why I didn't do it yet. There's supposed to be something in here about the calls with me and did you schedule your call yet? I don't know if that's even in there or not. I may have removed it for right now or it's not. It's hiding somewhere. But I'm telling you, how to set up your call with me. Here it is. How to schedule your manual review. How to schedule your regular consulting call. That's right. You get regular consulting calls. But I'll use another video to go down through all of these and what they're about. So I appreciate you. I thank you so much for, again, making the investment into you to know that you can be at your best in your professional life and your personal life. And you're going to start to see it very soon if you haven't done so already. So know that today is a great day. And if you have not experienced it yet, I know you will soon. I'll see you soon there, guys. Take care.